Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My beloved brothers and sisters, when life becomes overwhelming and the path ahead seems unclear, sometimes we pause and wonder, is Allah communicating with me? Are these signs meant for me? Am I even paying attention? Many people search for grand miracles, yet forget that often the most powerful signs from Allah come in the quietest moments, in the smallest details, and in the gentlest nudges of the heart. The problem is not that Allah isn't speaking to us, the problem is that we are too distracted to listen. We have surrounded ourselves with so much noise, so much haste, so much attachment to this world, that the soft messages meant to guide us become buried beneath the weight of our own heedlessness. Today let us awaken our hearts and reflect carefully upon the signs that Allah is continuously sending to us, waiting patiently for us to respond. Sometimes in life we become so occupied with our routines, so caught up in our own worlds, that we forget to pause and reflect on the happenings around us. We wake up, we chase deadlines, we entertain ourselves, and we run from one task to another without truly being present. In this rush, many people fail to notice that Allah is constantly sending us signs, guiding us, calling us, showing us paths of goodness, and warning us of the dangers ahead. These signs are not reserved for the special or the pious, they are for every soul that breathes. Allah in His mercy places signs all around us to bring us closer to Him, to remind us of our purpose and to pull us away from harm. The signs are everywhere, in the people we meet, the situations we face, the words we hear, the feelings we experience, and even in the things that don't go our way. But the tragedy is that many hearts have become so hardened and many eyes so blinded that even the clearest signs are ignored. It is not that the signs are missing, it is that people are not reading them. Sometimes when we fall into a pattern of heedlessness, we wait for grand miracles to appear, forgetting that the most profound signs often come in the simplest forms. When a person is repeatedly reminded of the same lesson from different sources, it is no accident. You may be scrolling through your phone and suddenly a message about the importance of prayer appears. Later, someone in your family casually speaks about improving their connection with Allah. Then you come across a video urging people not to delay their prayers. On the same day, perhaps a friend reminds you about the value of the 5 daily prayers. Many would dismiss these as ordinary moments. But the one whose heart is awake would realize that Allah is sending him a personal reminder repeatedly through various channels. These are not coincidences. When something is meant for you, it will keep finding you until you either embrace it or continue ignoring it. The repetition of the same message is a gift from Allah, giving you another chance to correct your path, to think, to change, to act before it is too late. When the same advice comes again and again, whether through a parent, a friend, a stranger, or even a billboard you happen to notice, it is Allah placing that reminder before you, calling you towards something that you may have neglected. The repeated message may be calling you to fulfill a duty you have delayed, to let go of a harmful habit you have clung to, or to begin something you have long been postponing. Sometimes when a person chooses to ignore these repetitive signs, they begin to fade away. When the heart continuously rejects the signs of Allah, it becomes sealed. It no longer feels the urgency to return. It no longer feels disturbed by heedlessness. It becomes comfortable in its distance from Allah. This is not because the signs disappeared, but because the person chose to turn away until their heart no longer recognized the importance of those signs. Allah, out of His mercy, does not abandon a person immediately. He sends signs repeatedly in different ways through various people over and over again, giving chance after chance until the person has no excuse left. The wise person is the one who responds the first time the message reaches him. The one who takes action at the first warning without waiting for further proof or another reminder. When you notice that something keeps appearing in your life, when you are repeatedly called towards a certain good deed or repeatedly warned against a harmful path, ask yourself, why does this keep coming to me? Why does this message keep chasing me? It is a personal call from the one who created you, urging you towards what is best for you. In the moments when these signs appear, the heart either softens and submits, or it hardens and rejects. The one who humbles himself will see the signs as gifts. The one who is arrogant will see them as annoyances. This world is full of people who wait for major calamities to strike before they wake up. But those who are wise will notice the signs in the small things, in the repeated reminders, in the simple conversations, in the everyday occurrences. They will not wait for a disaster to reconnect with their Creator. They will not wait until the last moment to realize what they have been neglecting. They will respond when the signs first appear, because they know that delay is a risk and that tomorrow is never guaranteed. The signs around us are like lanterns on a dark path, each one placed to guide us step by step. But imagine a person walking in the dark, ignoring every lantern, choosing to cover his eyes and continuing on his path as though the lights do not exist. Eventually he will stumble and fall. Allah places these lanterns for us through reminders, through advice, through people, through events. If we choose to walk past them, if we choose to shut our hearts to them, we will only be harming ourselves. The signs are not for the benefit of Allah. They are for our benefit, to save us from regret, to protect us from harm, to guide us towards peace in this life and success in the next. The one who opens his heart will find that the signs are not rare. They are everywhere. They appear in moments of joy, in moments of pain, in the words of a stranger, in the advice of a friend, in the verses of the Quran, in the stories we hear, and in the news we read. But the one who is constantly distracted by the noise of the world will miss these signs even when they are directly in front of him. Sometimes Allah sends signs through people we do not expect. A child may say something that shakes our hearts. A stranger may utter a sentence that wakes us up. A difficult moment may leave us speechless, forcing us to think deeply. But the question is whether we are truly paying attention or whether we are simply rushing through life, chasing the temporary, ignoring the eternal. The signs are not only found in grand events, they are found in the small, consistent nudges we often overlook. When you find yourself repeatedly reminded of the same thing, realize that Allah is gently calling you to turn back, to fix, to grow, to move towards something better. Ignoring these signs is like turning away from the door of mercy that has been opened specifically for you. When life becomes heavy and the trials seem endless, many people become confused. They ask why they are being tested, why things are falling apart, why their plans are not working, why their hearts feel empty despite having so much. This is where many people either wake up or fall deeper into heedlessness. Hardship is one of the most direct ways that Allah speaks to His servants. When a person is tested with loss, illness, rejection or difficulty, it is not always a punishment. Sometimes it is a call to return. Sometimes it is a gentle shake, a reminder that we are becoming too attached to this world, too distant from our purpose, too forgetful of our final destination. It is in these moments that many people discover their truest selves. The comforts of life often cover the reality of the soul. When those comforts are taken away, the soul is exposed. It is in hardship that the person realizes who they truly rely on, who they truly turn to, what truly matters. The most beautiful thing is that Allah does not test randomly. Every trial is perfectly tailored to the individual, perfectly designed to wake them up, to teach them, to purify them. What you see as a painful experience may actually be a moment of intense divine attention. Allah is calling you through that difficulty. He is redirecting you through that hardship. He is teaching you patience, strengthening your soul, softening your heart, and guiding you to the realization that nothing in this world is permanent. When the trials of life come, many people fall into complaint. They wonder why they are being tested while others seem to enjoy ease. But the wise person understands that hardship is not a sign of rejection, it is often a sign of being chosen. It is a moment when Allah is giving you the opportunity to elevate yourself, to reconnect, to turn back with sincerity. Many people find their deepest connection with Allah during times of pain. When life is easy, when the heart is distracted by wealth, by friends, by entertainment, the connection often weakens. But when the pain comes, when the heart is heavy, when the tears flow, that is when the supplications become sincere. That is when the heart speaks directly, when the prayers are no longer words, but desperate cries. This is when a person discovers the sweetness of turning to Allah without any barriers, without pride, without laziness. The trial is not the enemy. The trial is often the beginning of a new relationship with the Creator. It strips away the illusions and forces the heart to confront its own weakness. It reminds the soul that no matter how much we plan, we control nothing. It teaches the soul to surrender, to submit, to trust. Sometimes what we perceive as loss is actually protection. Sometimes the door that closed was a door that would have led us to harm. Sometimes the relationship that ended was a relationship that would have destroyed us. Sometimes the plan that failed was a plan that would have pulled us away from our purpose. In these moments we may feel disappointment, but if we reflect carefully, we will see the wisdom. Allah removes things from our lives to protect us, to replace them with something better, or to teach us lessons we could not have learnt otherwise. The immediate pain may hide the long-term mercy, but the one who trusts Allah will see beyond the moment. When life changes suddenly, when our carefully arranged plans fall apart, when the path we were following disappears, it is easy to feel lost. But these are the moments when Allah is calling us to walk a different path. The sudden changes in life are not always mistakes. They are often the signs we asked for but did not recognize. They are Allah's way of guiding us away from what we wanted towards what we need. They are a reminder that we do not always know what is best for us, that the unseen belongs to Allah alone. The one who truly understands this will find peace even in the storms. He will trust that the redirection is for his own benefit. He will not be consumed by regret, because he knows that what was written for him will never miss him, and what missed him was never written for him. The tests of life are not meant to break us. They are meant to shape us. They are meant to guide us. They are meant to clean our hearts, to polish our souls, to strengthen our faith. Through them Allah teaches us patience, humility, reliance, gratitude and trust. Through them Allah removes arrogance, selfishness and heedlessness. Through them Allah draws us nearer to Him in a way that ease rarely does. Many people only discover the sweetness of prayer, the beauty of reliance and the depth of gratitude when they are placed in situations they cannot control. The pain pushes them towards sincere supplication. The disappointment pushes them towards real reflection. The loss pushes them towards the one who never leaves. In these moments, the one who complains and rebels only increases his pain. But the one who surrenders and trusts finds a calmness that the world cannot offer. Hardship is not about what you lost. It is about what you can gain. It is about discovering a stronger version of yourself, a more grateful heart, a more patient soul. The trial is not an obstacle, it is a path. It is an opportunity to grow closer to Allah in a way that comfort would never allow. It is a message from the one who loves you, telling you that you are capable of more, that you are worthy of being purified, that you are ready to rise. There are moments in life when a person is about to make a decision, when a person is about to take a step that could either lead them towards goodness or pull them into harm. And deep inside there is a quiet whisper, a hesitation, a discomfort that is difficult to explain. It is not a loud voice, it is not something that shakes the earth, but it is a persistent feeling that something is not right. Many people ignore these whispers of the heart. Many silence their instincts because they are too focused on what they desire, too occupied with their own plans, too busy following the crowd. But the one who pauses and listens carefully will realize that these feelings are not random. Allah places guidance deep within us, and sometimes the heart knows the truth before the mind fully understands it. There are moments when you may feel uneasy about entering a place, about befriending a certain person, about engaging in a certain deal, and even though on the surface everything seems fine, your heart feels heavy. That heaviness is not to be ignored. It is a silent message that you are about to step into something that may harm your soul, your faith, or your future. People often confuse this internal guidance with fear or overthinking, but the reality is that when Allah wishes good for a person, He makes them sensitive to these subtle signs. He places an uneasiness in their hearts towards sin, towards bad company, towards harmful paths. The one who is sincere with himself will stop and think before proceeding. The one who is chasing his desires will silence these feelings and rush towards what his lower self craves. It is easy to push aside these feelings when the temptation is strong, when the world is calling, when the crowd is cheering. But the wise person knows that the heart is sometimes given a vision that the eyes cannot yet see. The heart can feel a danger that the body has not yet encountered. When a person trains himself to listen to these feelings, to honor that inner compass, he is protecting his soul from falling into traps that may seem attractive on the surface but are disastrous beneath. There are times when a person feels an unusual peace about a decision, even when it seems difficult, even when it requires sacrifice, even when others are questioning it. That peace is also a sign. Sometimes Allah places tranquility in the heart to guide us towards the right choice. The mind may still be calculating, the body may still be hesitant, but the heart feels calm, settled, reassured. This is not by accident. It is a quiet approval. It is Allah placing sakina, a special type of peace, to tell you that this is the right step. But to reach this level of clarity, a person must purify his intentions. The heart that is corrupted by arrogance, by jealousy, by stubbornness will misread these feelings. But the heart that is humble, the heart that seeks the pleasure of Allah above all else, will be guided by these subtle signs in the most beautiful way. One of the greatest mistakes people make is to drown the voice of the heart with the noise of the world. They constantly seek the opinions of everyone. They chase trends, they follow the loudest voices, and they forget to sit in silence and ask themselves what their own heart is saying. Sometimes when you are about to sin, your heart feels heavy, uncomfortable, but the people around you encourage you, the environment pushes you, and the worldly benefits tempt you. If you ignore that heaviness, you may find yourself in a place of regret. Allah does not always send a voice from the sky to stop you. Sometimes He sends a feeling in your heart, a tightness in your chest, a hesitation that you cannot explain. This is a protection. It is a quiet way of saying, step back, think, pause, this is not the path for you. But what happens when a person keeps ignoring this feeling? When a person repeatedly silences the discomfort and continues to follow his desires, the heart begins to lose its sensitivity. The inner warning system weakens. What once felt wrong begins to feel normal. What once made the heart tremble now feels comfortable. This is one of the most dangerous states for a believer. When the heart is no longer disturbed by sin, when the soul no longer hesitates before disobedience, when the discomfort fades because the person has trained himself to ignore it, this is a sign that the heart is becoming sealed. To protect the heart from reaching this level, a person must remain connected to sincere remembrance, must continuously renew his intentions, must spend time reflecting, and must listen carefully to that first hesitation, to that first pull of the heart, because that initial discomfort is often the purest warning before the soul is drowned in excuses. Sometimes Allah guides a person by removing the attraction of sin from his heart. A person may be heading towards something haram, may be deeply attached to it, but suddenly the heart begins to feel distant from it, begins to feel a lack of interest. This is also a sign of mercy. It is Allah pulling the heart away before the body follows. But many people ignore this and force themselves back into what Allah is removing them from. The one who is wise will recognize that when Allah removes something from your heart, it is for your own good. Chasing it after Allah has removed it is like running towards a fire that was already extinguished to save you. The signs are there. They appear in feelings, in attractions that fade, in the sudden disinterest in what you once craved. Allah is guiding the heart long before the mind understands. Sometimes the instinct warns you about people. You may meet someone who is polite, who says all the right things, but something in your heart feels uneasy. You cannot fully explain it, but the discomfort remains. This is not always baseless suspicion. Sometimes Allah is protecting you from a relationship that would harm you. Trust is built when the heart feels safe. If your heart repeatedly feels disturbed, if you notice patterns of warning, if you feel drained in their company, this may be a sign that you need to distance yourself. People are tested through their relationships, and many times Allah sends us quiet signs before a relationship becomes harmful. The wise person does not ignore these early signs. Listening to the heart is not about following every fleeting feeling, but about recognizing those consistent, deep signs that persist despite the noise of the world. Sometimes when you want something badly, your desire speaks louder than your heart. This is why a person must seek clarity through prayer, through supplication, through stillness. Because when you sincerely ask for guidance, Allah purifies your heart and makes the right path feel peaceful and the wrong path feel heavy. If your heart keeps pulling you away from something, pay attention. If your heart keeps guiding you towards something good, do not delay. Allah speaks through life, through the world, and through the quiet whispers of your heart. There are moments when the heart feels a longing, a deep pull towards the Quran. It may happen randomly. You may suddenly feel the need to open it, to read, to connect. This is not random. This is Allah inviting you to a conversation. The Quran is not an ancient book that belongs to the past. It is a living guidance sent for people in every time, in every place, in every condition. It speaks to the soul in a way no other book can. When a person approaches the Quran with sincerity, when they open it with a heart that truly seeks, they will find that the words speak directly to their life. Sometimes you open a page and the verse you read matches exactly what you are going through. It addresses your fear, your confusion, your pain, your doubts, your hopes. It feels as though the verse was sent to you in that very moment. The Quran is not silent, it is a conversation waiting to be heard. But the one who reads it without presence, the one who rushes through it without reflection, the one who reads with the tongue but not with the heart, will miss these beautiful moments. When you approach the Quran with love, with eagerness, with humility, it will begin to unfold its treasures to you. It will begin to reveal layers of wisdom, layers of healing, layers of personal guidance. The Quran does not only address the mind, it addresses the heart. It strengthens the weak, comforts the broken, guides the lost and uplifts the weary. It is a companion that never leaves. It is a light that never fades. Sometimes a person feels that the Quran is distant, that they are unable to connect, that the words are not penetrating their heart. In those moments they must ask themselves, how am I approaching it? Am I reading it just to finish? Am I reading it just as a habit? Am I reading it with the belief that it can heal me, that it can guide me, that it can speak to me? The Quran responds to the level of sincerity a person brings to it. If you come to it with a genuine heart, even a single verse can transform your day. Even a few words can realign your entire life. But if you come to it with heedlessness, you will pass by its treasures without tasting them. When a person is struggling with a decision, with pain, with confusion, and they sincerely turn to the Quran, they will often find that the words they need are waiting for them. This is not by accident. This is Allah's way of guiding you through His words. The Quran is filled with stories, with lessons, with warnings, with promises, with descriptions of people who came before us and people who will come after us. But the one who reads it carefully will realize that these stories are not distant. They reflect our own struggles, our own weaknesses, our own ambitions. The Quran speaks to the parent who is worried about their child, to the young person struggling with temptation, to the believer who feels overwhelmed, to the heart that is searching for peace. Sometimes the Quran speaks through verses of warning, reminding the heart to wake up, to abandon sin, to return before it is too late. Sometimes it speaks through verses of hope, lifting a person out of despair, reminding them that no matter how far they have fallen, the door of mercy remains open. Sometimes it speaks through stories of prophets who faced hardship, reminding the reader that patience and trust will always lead to victory. Sometimes it speaks through descriptions of the hereafter, shaking the heart out of heedlessness, reminding us that this life is not the end. The Quran has a way of giving each person what they need at the moment they need it. When you consistently return to the Quran, you begin to notice that the same verse can carry new meanings at different stages of life. What comforted you last year may warn you this year. What inspired you last week may guide you this week. The Quran is a living miracle, and its beauty is that it grows with you. The deeper you go, the more you find. But this requires sincerity, patience, and consistency. Many people give up after a few days thinking they are not benefiting. But the ones who persist, the ones who continue to knock on the door of the Quran will find that eventually the Quran opens itself to them in the most beautiful ways. There are moments when a person is lost, when life becomes confusing, when the world seems dark. And in those moments they may randomly hear a verse, someone may recite a part of the Quran near them, or they may come across an ayah they have read many times before, but suddenly it feels new, it feels alive. It feels like the answer they have been searching for. This is one of the ways Allah speaks to His servants. He sends the words you need wrapped in the form of verses you may have passed by before, but this time your heart is ready to receive them. The Quran is not limited to the time of revelation, it is timeless. Its relevance is not in history, it is in your present, in your today, in your personal life. The Quran is not only meant to be recited with beautiful voices, it is meant to be lived. It is meant to be reflected upon, to be acted upon, to be carried in the heart, to be the guide in moments of joy and sorrow. It is a compass for those who are searching for direction. But the compass is only useful if you trust it, if you follow it, if you refer to it when you are unsure. The one who approaches the Quran seeking comfort will find it. The one who approaches it seeking guidance will find it. The one who approaches it seeking proof will find it. But the one who approaches it to argue, to debate, to disprove will only find confusion. The Quran speaks to hearts that are open, to souls that are searching, to minds that are humble. The journey of life is filled with twists and turns, ups and downs, moments of clarity and times of confusion. Every day, people make decisions, take steps, face situations that either bring them closer to the light or drag them deeper into darkness. In this journey, there is a constant need for guidance, for reassurance, for direction. The Quran stands as the most powerful guide, the most complete manual and the clearest path. It is not a book of history to be left on shelves, nor is it a decoration to be displayed without understanding. The Quran is alive, it is vibrant. It speaks directly to the heart of every person who approaches it sincerely. It does not wait to be heard on special occasions alone. It is a daily conversation, a continuous source of wisdom, a companion that never abandons. Many people open the Quran searching for words that match their problems, expecting grand discoveries in the first reading. They close it too quickly when they do not immediately feel the answers they seek. But the Quran is a treasure that unfolds gradually. Its beauty is revealed to the one who is patient, who approaches it with humility, who keeps returning even when the heart feels distant. The Quran speaks in a way that transcends time and place. It speaks to the broken-hearted, to the sinner who feels ashamed, to the one struggling with faith, to the one who feels overwhelmed by life, to the one searching for purpose. It speaks through stories, through parables, through direct commandments, through promises and warnings. The more a person reflects, the more they realize that these verses are not random. They are perfectly arranged, perfectly delivered, and perfectly suited to guide every generation. When a person feels lost, confused, or anxious, the Quran often provides the exact comfort needed. A verse appears that soothes the heart. A word stands out that realigns the mind. A phrase lingers in the heart, providing strength long after it is read. These moments are not coincidences. They are personal gifts from Allah, carefully sent to provide reassurance and direction. Sometimes a person is dealing with immense grief and they come across verses that remind them of the temporary nature of this world and the eternal peace of the hereafter. Those verses, when read with sincerity, soften the heart, provide perspective and bring comfort. Other times